first of all, thanks to Ben for having me. Probably leads on nicely to what Jordan just had you doing as part of the warm-up task, really. You'll have to bear with me because I pressed down about a minute later, the screen will change. So I might have to waffle in between slides. But essentially, I'm going to talk about, firstly, going through my sort of approach and how it sort of came around across the career. And then to this present day and how we try and implement certain things, the profile breaking, and how we then use programming to try and improve someone's ability to move in small spaces and make them more robust as well. So in terms of what we'll go through, as I mentioned, we'll talk about my background and philosophy. I was talking about Sam to this a second ago, and like philosophy is one of those things that for me, in my opinion, like you sort of learn that as your career progresses over time. I think you can be under quite a lot of pressure when you leave uni, go into your first role. So I've sort of had this framework and way of working straight away, when in my opinion, your environments and experiences shape your philosophy across time. This is sort of how I've ended up going down the rabbit hole with breaking as such. If this changes, then we can look at the next slide. This is really slow, guys. Yeah, it's definitely the theme, talking about slowing down. Change, there we go. So where it all started for me was back in 2012, graduating from John Moores with a science and football degree, getting a placement opportunity at Everton Women, and then going on to do an MSc in strength conditioning at Salford as well. So my sort of initial experience working at Everton, like I remember my first training session with the first team, and one of the players actually sustained a recurrent ACL in the first session. It was their first session back as well, so it wasn't my fault, by the way. But that was my first experience, and having come through obviously university and reading all about ACLs, etc., and sort of being exposed to that real world exposure straight away, and hit me quite hard, almost like shit what they were doing now in terms of like programming and helping a rehab. So that was my first sort of real experience around ACLs and change direction and breaking. And it also, studying at Salford, we had access to like some really good practitioners like Lee Harrington, Paul Jones, Tom DeSantos, who probably didn't know it as such back then, but they sort of helped shape my philosophy and the way I think to this day. And again, a lot of the research that you'll read now on ACLs, change direction and deceleration, are all based around those guys and the work that they do with Salford. So that was sort of where it all started. And then leading on from there, I think we've got some people from Liverpool in the room actually. So I then moved across to the better side of Liverpool, to Liverpool. That was a full-time role. So again, for me, coming from a part-time environment at Everton, having potentially 2 or 3 contacts with those players every single week, trying to fit in an extra S&C session that wasn't compulsory, to then having a lot more scope to sort of implement S&C sessions, pre-activation sessions, and